So this is the first time I've done a session with Gimli around the harness. And all I'm doing at the moment is capturing when he's sitting or not launching at the harness, because the first few times we had the harness out, he thought it was a toy, and he wanted to grab it and bite it and play with it, because it is made of fleece after all, so he's not to know that it's not a toy. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that that doesn't become a bit of a habit, that when the harness comes out, he's going to chew and grab it. So all I'm doing to start with is just having the harness out. If he chooses not to grab it, he gets rewarded. Now what I'm gradually working towards is him coming and putting his nose towards the harness. Again, not chewing or grabbing. You can see I'm putting my hand through the head area of the harness and feeling him retreat. So I'm looking to see if he can offer me a little bit more, and see if he can bring that nose towards the harness. But I'm not too worried at this stage of getting his head through. All I'm concerned about is that he's not chewing the harness, because I say I don't want him to get into the habit that harness comes out, he thinks it's a toy. So there I just waited to see if he would offer anything. Any kind of launching and grabbing at the harness doesn't get rewarded, but a bit of steadiness does.
Yes.
And I'm seeing if he can put his head towards that, the head opening area without his mouth being open. So even if he's nose targeting or anything like that, that's fine at the moment. Yeah, so he did go and put his nose through, but then he decided to open his mouth. So that didn't get rewarded.
Yes.
That did. So he went and offered and put his head through the opening. I'm quickly taking it off though, because it's the first time he's really had it on, and he started to get a little bit uncomfortable with it around his neck, so I quickly took it off. So what I want from this exercise, or from him generally, is that he wants to have that harness on. It's not going to be anything uncomfortable or worrying, but it's also not a plaything either. So I was just waiting for a little bit of steadiness. He's just got into a bit of a sort of sticky point where he just wants to mouth on the harness basically. So I was waiting for a little bit of steadiness there, and now I'm going back to being able to see if he can put his head through. He's also very interested in my treat pouch. So going back to having the food there again, seeing if he can just put his nose through, making sure he's comfortable doing that, making sure his mouth's not open, he's not trying to grab it. I think he's gradually starting to get the idea now.
Yes. Good boy. That was a good one. Good boy.
So if you have a puppy and you're getting any kind of mouthing on the harness, or you're getting any kind of struggle fitting the harness, then you could go back to doing this. And if you've got a brand new puppy, this is how I would start introducing a harness, or any equipment for that matter, whether it's a collar. It could be a buster collar, or something that's a jumper or a coat. This is the way I introduce it. So you see there, he actually offered to put his nose through the head opening area. That's what I'm looking for. I want him to want to put it on. He went to grab it, so I just moved it away. Gonna wait for some steadiness again. Yeah, good boy. So I stopped the session soon, because I can see that he's starting to get a bit tired. He's starting to revert to sort of mouthing and pawing. So here is a good place to stop. My next session will pick up from where we left off and look to actually have the harness over his head and start looking at doing up the straps.